Hello and welcome back, full-time Algebra 2 students. This is Mr. Frazier, and we're here to do a Module 2 overview. All right, so as you can see, this is equations and inequalities. Okay, and we're really trying to focus in on those definitions. Remember, an expression does not have an equal sign, an equation does, and an inequality are the things that are less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Like usual, I tell you to make sure you go to the module checklist, which would be in the pretest. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're looking at this so we understand how much time it should take each thing. Notice, not too bad, not too bad, not too bad. We should spend, this is a lot of points. It's only about 20 minutes to complete it because you should have your notes from all these other things. And we keep going, inequalities, compound inequalities, time to complete. So most of this is pretty generic, all right? And you should be able to finish everything in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 9 to 10 days it should take Module 2. Wait, I'm sorry, 9 to 10 hours. Apologize, not days. All right, so you can print that out, and we're gonna go back to the home page. And remember, you do have pre-done notes, and this makes it easy for you to work through the modules. You want to click on there and you want to either copy those down or print them out. Either way works. Remember, these are the steps we're talking about and how to do some basic one-step problem solving. Most of you remember this from algebra or from pre-algebra or 6th and 7th grade. Okay? So we're doing one-step, two-step problem solving, inequalities, two variables. Remember, we're concentrating on things being an input and an output. Input being the x value, output being the y value. They're in an ordered pair because they're in alphabetical order. X comes before y, okay? And you're wanting to try to get used to understanding whether things are true or false. So inequalities help me figure out whether things are true or false. So if something is supposed to be less than, then it should be less than. So if it comes up something goofy like 7 is less than 5, that's a false statement. So that would not be an answer. But any number that does make it true is an answer. So the key behind most of the work as we get through this stuff is that absolute value and compound inequalities deal with doing more than one problem at a time. So you may have two problems there, and you're looking at it from a big picture of, oh, it has to qualify as this answer, and it has to qualify as this answer. Or here's one math problem, and I have to write it down twice because I could have a positive answer and I could have a negative answer. So these are things that you're going to run across, and making sure you understand that you're working with two problems at the same time. All right, there isn't a project, I believe, in this one. Nope. So most of the stuff here is independent and multiple choice. All right, so we get to things like literal equations. That's nothing more than looking at things and telling me, do I understand how to work forwards and backwards? Do I understand what the opposite of multiplication is? Do I understand what the opposite of division is? You try to get different letters by themselves, but if you can read the problem, you usually do not have a problem with going backwards. So it's looking at this, and instead of saying, so I'm going to ask this, and you guys just look there. Let's look at this. Can you read that equation there? And many of you are looking at it, and you're going, well, yeah, it's P equals 2L plus 2W. When in actuality, it is P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W, which is important because if you were working backwards, you would subtract 2W and you would divide by 2. Those are the things you would need to do to get L by itself. Or you would subtract 2L and divide by 2 to get the W by itself. You have to undo everything that's there. So sometimes we just read those things as they're there and we're not reading the actual math problem. So here's another one. E equals mc squared. Well, in actuality, it's E equals m times c times c. because C is squared. That's what it means, C times C. So in order to work backwards, that means I'm going to use division and square rooting. So if I needed to solve for C, I'm doing PEMDAS backwards. So I'm getting rid of the addition and subtraction first. There is none in that problem. I get rid of the multiplication first, which is the M. So I'm going to divide E by M. I'm not going to get an answer. I just write E over M. That's it. And then to get rid of the squared, the opposite of squaring something is square root. Correct. So I'd have to square root both answers. So it's just understanding how we're reading this. It's important that you understand that you have to read what's there and what it means, not literally what's there. So you don't read A equals L times W, or excuse me, LW. You read A equals L times W. When you get in that habit, you'll understand how to undo what's written there. This has a tendency of being really tricky for a lot of people. So we'll go over this when we do a live lesson. All right? As well as remember to come with any questions you may have. This module has a tendency of going really quick because a lot of this stuff you become really good at. It deals with graphing inequalities, the open dot, closed dot. Many of you are like, oh, I remember doing that on a number line, understanding inputs and outputs. You guys should be fine. All right, I look forward to seeing all of you in my live lesson Tuesday at what time? Well, you don't know? Well, then we need to look it up. Go to the home page, and as it loads to see my smiling face, right there, live lesson and collaboration news. Hey, let's click on that. What do you think I'm going to find there? Probably the live lesson and collaboration news. Comes up, it says live lessons, Tuesdays at 12. Getting started in Module 1, which was this week, and next week will be Module 2. All right? Thank you very much, guys. Remember to just call me for DBAs unless you have to make a schedule because you're busy. I'm here every day. If you have any questions, we're going to call, text, then email. All right. Thank you, guys. You have a great day, and I look forward to getting all that great work. All right.